Definitions. When you search for an apartment in Germany, you will almost always see two different rent prices. Kaltmiete or cold rent is the base rent. It's the price you pay just for the apartment itself without heating and without running costs. Warmmiete or warm rent is the full price you actually pay every month. It includes the Kaltmiete plus the estimated additional costs. If this already feels a bit abstract, pause here and watch video 1 of this series, where we explain how the German rental system works step by step. Now let's talk about additional costs or Nebenkosten. Nebenkosten are the ongoing operating costs of an apartment. It can legally include things like heating and hot water, cold water and wastewater, property tax, garbage collection and street cleaning, staircase lighting, elevator costs, caretaker services, garden maintenance, building and liability insurance, chimney sweep, smoke detector maintenance, and shared facilities like laundry rooms. Nebenkosten never include repairs, renovations, administrative costs, or property management fees. Those are always paid by the landlord and not the tenant. Cost breakdown. To understand real costs, we need real data. The most reliable source here is the Deutscher Mieterbund, the German Tenants Association. They publish nationwide surveys based on real utility bills. According to the latest available data from 2024, tenants in Germany paid an average around 3.7 euros per square meter per month for operating costs, which means for an 80 square meter apartment, the average Nebenkosten in 2024 were about 3,532 euro per year. It is roughly 295 euro per month. Remember, these are the latest available numbers from 2024. Costs today are likely higher due to inflation and energy prices. Therefore, for 2026, you can assume it is around 4 euro per square meter per month for operating costs in your calculation. As you see in the graph, the biggest chunk, almost half the price, goes to heating, including hot water Heizung plus warm water in German. The heating and water are variable costs, which depend on your actual usage. If you control heating and hot water, you control most of your Nebenkosten. The rest of the costs are fixed costs. In other words, they don't depend on how much you personally use, such as the building cleaning, garden maintenance, garbage collection, insurance. These are usually divided by the landlord among the tenants depending on the apartment size. So, how do tenants pay Nebenkosten? You don't pay the exact amount every month. Instead, your landlord estimates your yearly costs and charges a monthly advance payment. Once a year, you receive a document called the Nebenkostenabrechnung, the annual utility statement. If you pay too much, you get a refund. If you pay too little, you pay the difference. The big costs: water and heating. Now let's look at the two biggest drivers of Nebenkosten: water and heating. Cold water and wastewater. In most apartments in Germany, cold water is almost always included in the Nebenkosten and managed by the landlord. You don't sign a separate contract, and usage is usually measured once per year. Wastewater removal is also normally part of the Nebenkosten. The cost is set by the municipality and allocated by the landlord. One important thing to know: German tap water is safe to drink everywhere. It is heavily regulated, strictly tested, and of very high quality. The only real downside is water hardness. German water contains a lot of limescale, which is why kettles, coffee machines, and washing machines need regular descaling. Heating, including hot water. Germany has cold winters, with temperatures often dropping below freezing between December and February. Because of that, heating is usually the single biggest Nebenkosten item. Here is the basic idea how the common heating system works in Germany. There is a boiler. The boiler heats the water, then the hot water is sent to your taps and shower as hot water, and also circulated through radiators to heat the apartment. Usually each room in your apartment will have a radiator. Common heating types in Germany. Central heating, Centralheizung. This is the most common system in German apartment buildings. A central boiler, usually located in the basement, heats water for the entire building. In this case, heating and hot water are part of your Nebenkosten. You pay monthly advance payments which are settled once per year, as we explained earlier. Gas heating, Gasheizung. Sometimes, the gas boiler is located inside your apartment rather than in the basement. It's usually installed in the kitchen or the bathroom. In this situation, you are responsible for your own heating and hot water. That means you must sign a gas contract yourself, just like you do with electricity. If you don't sign a contract, you will automatically be placed on the expensive basic tariff from the local city provider. To avoid that, you can use Check24 to compare available providers at your address. To sign up, you will need the gas meter number, the meter reading from the day you moved in. And don't worry, over the year, heating usually costs about the same whether it's central heating or a gas boiler. The difference is simply that it's an additional contract you have to sign in Germany. Electric heating, Elektroheizung. This is a rare case, but if your apartment uses an electric boiler instead of gas, again, usually located in the kitchen or bathroom, you also pay for heating and hot water yourself. Electric heating is usually expensive and all costs appear directly on your electricity bill and not in the Nebenkosten. Oil heating, Ölheizung. Oil heating is more common in standalone houses. Heating oil is stored in a tank, usually in the basement of the house. If this is the case, make sure the oil tank is sufficiently filled before winter. Prices often rise when demand increases. So, in a nutshell, in most cases, heating is central. You will only see radiators in your apartment. The cost of heating and hot water is included in your Nebenkosten and clearly stated in the apartment ad and in the rental contract. In some cases, heating is not central. You will find a small boiler in the kitchen or bathroom, either gas or electric. In that case, heating and hot water are your responsibility and not included in the Nebenkosten. Oil heating is more common in standalone houses. It's important to pay close attention to the apartment ads and always checking this during apartment viewings. Tips for efficient heating and lower heating costs. First, let's talk about thermostats. Most radiators in Germany have a knob with numbers from 1 to 5. These numbers do not control speed, they control the target temperature. Turning the knob higher does not heat the room faster, it simply means the radiator stays open longer. A setting between 2 and 3 usually corresponds to around 20 degrees Celsius, which is considered comfortable for daily living. At night, you can lower the temperature to around 18 degrees Celsius to save energy. Heat only the rooms you actually use, and if you travel or leave the apartment for a longer period, turn the radiators down. But keep one thing in mind, never turn the radiator fully off. Always use the frost protection symbol, especially in winter. This prevents frozen or burst pipes. Damage like that can be very expensive. Radiator bleeding. If a radiator is cold at the top but warm at the bottom, there is air trapped inside. Bleeding your radiators once a year improves heating efficiency and reduces energy waste. Depending on the radiator, you will need either a flat screwdriver or a small radiator key like the one shown in the image. Open the valve slowly, you will hear air escaping. Once water starts coming out, close the valve again. That's it. And this small step can noticeably improve how well your heating works. Ideal airflow. Don't block the heat. Radiators need space to work properly. For good airflow, don't cover radiators with furniture and avoid long curtains hanging directly in front of them. If warm air can't circulate, parts of the room will stay cold even if the heating is running at full power. That means higher costs without more comfort. If this guide helped you feel even a little more confident in your search, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.